G'day and welcome to another episode of the Country Rugby League Show. Paul Arandale, Geoff Stevenson back for another big week of footy it was, and it'll be another massive one this weekend.
Fantastic, that time of year.
Did you get out and see anything last weekend?
Yeah, I actually got down to see the entrance versus West in the Newcastle Denton Engineering Cup.
Oh, yeah.
So that was nice. It was sort of hoping that it would be good enough weather for it to run. And it did. It was some decent enough weather out there around the traps. We got some good footy in around the state. But yeah, good game.
Do the steak or sausage sanger test down there?
Oh, sausage sanger. Yeah. I can steak. I'm not a steak, but yeah. It was you could smell it a mile away. It's very good.
Yeah, it's tough when you have a steak singer. I'm just digressing.
Yeah,
no. You get the stuff caught in your teeth.
You do. The actual bread falling apart in your hands. The onions that you thought were a great idea at the time, all that stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, footy. You got to have that.
I know. Yeah, it's worth it though.
Mate, so I actually had a very quiet weekend. I caught a bit of the Scorps Central game. Yeah, good win to the Central Newcastle Butcher Boys as well. Yeah,
good footy, and it'll be a very interesting time of year with some of those teams that are now, I think, and if quite a few comps now, they're at the point where they need to start winning, must-win games are starting to creep in. It's happening in every comp, but must-win games. Certainly
is. We'll have a look at the Newcastle Rugby League now. It was round 16 of the Denton Engineering Cup, and Cessnock had a bit of a scare against Wyong Roos. The Roos led for a long period of the game, but the Goaners got the win, 26-22.
Yeah, and the Roos and the Tigers are really, I've said, are going to fight it out for a spot in the semis, I reckon. The
other Saturday game was Maitland hosting Curry, and it was good to see the Pickers. They're wearing an old boys
retro
jersey.
Yeah,
it was all black with just the white M on it. It looked superb. 44-6 Maitland over Curry. Sunday's match of the round, the feature match was Central v Macquarie, and the Butcher Boys 30-16 over the Scorpions at Peacock Field. Here's the game that Geoff was at.
Yeah, look at that for a hit. And look at this.
Yeah,
all good rewards. I don't know. There was a sniper there that knocked down that West player. I don't quite know what happened there.
12-8 the entrance over West. And then at Lakeside at Raymond Terrace, Lakes United 22-10 over Souths. Maybe Lions won't take a home game to Raymond Terrace.
No, and is that a weather? That was a poor ground, because I know their home ground does get pretty wet after a bit of rain.
Yeah, they could have played maybe one, maybe two at Townsend, but they had 4 grades. So they did is moved to Raymond Terrace and played 2 on each field.
Lakeside's a cracker of a place to watch a game of footy, but it's not a good omen when your team loses there when you move them there. But anyway, what can you do?
There's the ladder. Maitland still up top.
Like I said, those 2 Central Coast teams are going to push, and it'll be interesting to see what happens next, whether one of them will sneak into the top 5. Yeah,
especially this weekend. There's a few catch-up wet weather games. That ladder may change again.
Yeah, for sure.
We head down to the Illawarra. It was round 11 of the Mojo Homes Cup, and Thurul defeating Collies 18-6 there at the Collegians footy ground.
Yeah,
lovely ground.
A bit messier and muddier down south compared to up Newcastle way.
At the dog track, it was the Dapto Canaries hosting the De La Salle, and De La Salle 36-26, plenty of points.
Yeah, I caught a bit of this game on BarTV. It's a cracker of a game.
Corrimal hosted Western Suburbs Devils, and it was the Devils having a day out, 56-6.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, plenty of tries. Poor old Corrimal just out of their depth. And this one, Helensburgh and Caringbah. This was a close one. And a good try there from the front row, with the Tigers winning 28-12.
Yeah, and shout out to Helensburgh. I was going to say, just as that wraps up, but you look at the table right now. They're back in the comp for the first time this year.
Yep.
I've been propping up De La Salle, coming from sort of nowhere really to be in the top 5. But good on Helensburgh. They're playing really well.
Yeah, doing great. Yeah, good stuff. Thrill moved to sole leader of the competition there, and they've got a catch-up round 2. This was supposed to be a wet weather round.
I remember early in the year with Illawarra, it was just flogging down there.
We're up at the Gold Coast now. It was round 14, and this was the feature match in Burleigh. They just had one of those nights where they turn things on.
Yeah.
There's a good try here for the Burleigh Bears to win 36-4 over Runaway Bay. Ormo and Tugun also turned it on, 52-6.
This is a game I thought might have been closer, and I was completely wrong. But Ormo, Tugun have been on in good form.
Mudgee Bar 30-22 over Queanbeyan. The Eagles, they led for a long period in this game, but the Redbacks at home, they come home strong to get the points.
Yeah, nice late evening game.
And the final game here, Southport 52-16 over Helensvale. The Hornets actually led 10-0 at the beginning of that game, and the Tigers.
It'd break your heart, wouldn't it? It's been a fan of it. But an interesting table. Ormo are thereabouts still, despite their loss. And it's a very, like we keep saying, pretty condensed table, that one.
Interesting news coming out of the Gold Coast is that normally the grand final's held at Seabus, or it has been the last couple of years. I believe, due to a KISS concert up in North Queensland, the Cowboys are going to have to move their game. They're going to play at the Gold Coast, which is sort of double booked. It's the same weekend as the A grade or the senior grand final. So,
Jesus Christ. So KISS, I thought KISS couldn't play at the North Queensland, but I guess KISS are a bigger deal than the Cowboys, you would think.
I thought they'd retired. But anyway.
This is their last tour. Actually, from what I hear, this could be one of their last concerts in Australia. For some reason, they picked North Queensland. Yeah. But, the knock-on effect to the Gold Coast A grade, they should have considered this, really.
Exactly. Gene Simmons is not a Burleigh Bears supporter.
No. Or just do a bit of both. Imagine if they were halftime entertainment at the A grade grand final. And we do have a very, very bulky, stocky ex-winger for Southport that's got enough money that could probably make it happen.
Yeah, he's probably mates with Paul Stanley.
Yes, we just need Southport to probably get in the grand final. That might help as well.
Yeah, so interesting whether Gold Coast will move the grand final back a week or...
Where would they move it to, in your opinion? What would be the next best option up that way?
As the rain comes down here
you can hear
at the shed. Well, they have played the grand finals at Pissy Park in the past, so maybe they go back there.
And last year it was played. Where was it played last year?
Seabus.
Seabus it was, wasn't it? That's right, yeah. I just wasn't sure with COVID and stuff where they ended up playing it. But,
So we'll keep you posted where the grand finals will be.
With KISS news and rugby league news.
Yes. Sunshine Coast, Beerwah got the win over Caboolture 26-4. Nice little try there in the corner.
Beautiful finish.
Caloundra 42-22 over Gympie.
Look at that ball. That was a front rower. Cut out pass from a front rower to the halfback who scored in the corner.
And Maroochydore 32-16 over Nambour. They didn't have it all their own way, but following the kick through as you do.
Beautiful. Backing up. Look at them all backing up. It's fantastic. And a lot of night games up there that some places down south would think, are you mad? Because it's still lovely and sunny and beautiful up there.
And the standalone, a little lovely touch from the fullback there. Kawana are on fire, 50-4 over the Noosa Pirates. But Kawana, even though they picked up the win, they remain in second place on the ladder.
Yeah, that's a very close, very congested. Also slightly confusing in what they do with points as well.
I believe it's 4 points for a win.
Right.
And you get a bonus point for so many tries in a
game.
Right,
okay. Well, that's not. I don't have a problem with these. It's just when you see a team on 46 points, you start to wonder, how did they get to that situation? But, no, I like that idea of offering bonus points and things.
As the rain comes down.
So quiet.
Canberra Rugby League, it was round 13, and the Southern Derby of Canberra, Tuggeranong hosting Woden Valley.
Yeah.
30-16.
Hey, look at the throw in the air. Look at this scrum play. How good is that?
Great stuff there. West Belconnen winning 22-18. We might get called off here.
No, yeah. We've already had the bye.
Queanbeyan Blues 50-24 over Gungahlin. Some great tries from the Blues in this game.
And look at them coming to celebrate.
Goulburn City here travelled up to Yass, and Goulburn City Bulldogs winning 36-22.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, I'm going to pretend that noise isn't there. The game, the country game, Goulburn City versus Yass. It looked like a beautiful day there at Yass, and good win by the Bulldogs.
And there's the ladder there for you. So West Bell still sitting on top.
Yeah.
Queanbeyan Blues are out of the 5. They're back up now up to second.
And when you start talking must win, you start looking at the Kangaroos there. They're going to need to start throwing some wins together. Gungahlin are still in with a hope. You never know.
Well, it'll be interesting clash. Kangaroos take on the Blues. The Queanbeyan Derby.
Yeah, right.
Sam Williams up against Terry Campese.
Wow. Both got a bit of interest in it.
Yes. We'll go down to Group 7, Round 13 in Kiama. 30-10 over the Milton Ulladulla Bulldogs. A good try here.
Yeah.
And
they play better when the surf is good. I don't know why, but they seem to win when that beautiful surf is out there.
The feature match was Warilla at home to the Stingrays, but the Shell Harbour Stingrays, they spelt the party with a 30-18 win.
Yeah, wow.
Gerringong 38-4 over Shell Harbour at Ron Costello Oval. And this one here was all Jamboree, 68-10 over Albion Park.
Yep. They're in good form at the moment.
And Albion Park's 2 tries come from intercepts too.
Oh, jeez. Like own goals.
And at the Berry Showground, Nowra got home in a tight one, 32-20. And you see there it was locked up 20 all with 10 to go.
That was a big loss for Warilla. You look at that. Gerringong must have been cheering when they got the news through that Warilla had lost. That was a big result by Shell Harbour.
Yeah, Stingrays rounding out that 5. You see Nowra now 5 points off the pace, even though they picked up the win.
Yeah.
Still plenty of games, 7.
Plenty of games. And even better
rounds.
If they were giving out 8 points a win or something, but I think it's only 2 points a win down there. But there's a nice solid top 5 there at the moment.
Northern Rivers Regional Rugby League at round 12, and Ballina hosted the Mustangs, and Murwillumbah picking up the win, 26-16. Good win away from home too for Murwillumbah.
Yeah.
Coogin at home entertain Northern United and also the crowd.
Another
a big
good
win.
Ball. That's got to be another front rower passing out.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
42-12, the Hornets over the Dirrawongs. The feature match was this one, Mullumbimby v Tweed Coast, and Tweed Coast getting the win 32-12.
Yeah, nice, good game.
And the supporters there not too happy.
Yeah, everyone's really nonchalant.
And probably the most entertaining game was Kyogle Turkeys against Evans Head.
Yeah.
Evans Head winning 38-22.
I watched a bit of that one as well at BarTV. It was a cracker.
And there's the points table there. I'm not sure if that's 100% right, but we've got Murwillumbah on top, Coogin in second.
Yeah, it was close enough, Paul.
Yeah.
But you look there, and it's really starting to take shape. There are a few teams like Evans Head just weeks ago that were looking a bit not sure how they're going to perform and stuff like that. They're looking pretty comfortable in top 4 position right now. So, a few teams at this time of year that's like moving round, they'd say in golf, speaking of the golf theme this week.
Yeah.
It's sort of that time where teams can string 3 or 4 wins together.
Yeah.
Suddenly you've got a shot at that being really high up in the finals.
Yeah. Interesting. Speaking of golf, Greg Norman, he got banned from PJ or something, and Tiger Woods was commenting on that he did some bad things.
I don't know.
It's like, interesting. Tiger.
Tiger did bad things in private. Yeah. Maybe that's the difference. Greg publicly does them.
Yeah.
So I guess we all can speculate what Tiger got up to, but I'm pretty sure all the rumours were true that he was up to a bit of hijinks. But anyway, they both like nudity. That's probably something we could say. Yeah,
nothing that Shooter McGavin wouldn't do.
No, that's right. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so that's our golf segment on the Country Rugby League show.
Okay, Summer of Golf coming later. New podcast.
Let's go around the groups.
Right, now, I actually am going to just focus on one grand final. Actually, this time of year, I think it's the Outback Grand Final's the first one to go.
Yep.
This has got to be the second grand final of the year, surely. The Prtoen Cup, also known as West Riverina.
Yeah.
For those who want to know the area I'm talking about, Prtoen are apparently one of Australia's largest retailers not manufacturers, say retailers of edible chicken.
There you go.
So those people that were wondering. Anyway, the Prtoen Cup, the grand final's on this week. It's Ivanhoe versus Narrandera.
Ooh.
And what jumped out at me was I actually had someone I know go through Ivanhoe and said it is a tiny town. I looked it up, and roughly about 200 people in the town. I'm assuming there's players that come from farms and stuff from out in the fringes. But considering Narrandera is something like 4,000 people. Ivanhoe beat Hillston last week, and they're a pretty reasonably sized town, 1,400 people as well. And they've made the grand final, and it's just fantastic for the little community. while I was coming here, on the way here, I then heard on the radio, they mentioned Ivanhoe on the radio. They said they've actually had no drinking water there for 3 weeks because of the amount of water around. They can't actually filtrate it and stuff. So
that means the runner gets a week off this weekend?
Well, there's a couple of factors. I thought, well, first of all, good on these guys for making grand final and having to boil their water, which, there's another challenge in life. Or did that make them play better? There's something about drinking dodgy water that they've gone from making it into the semi-finals to a grand final appearance. So there might be something in it. And any country rugby league team out there, start drinking creek water and see what happens. I don't know. I'm sure they're not. But
magic water.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought it's like, you think of a town like that, 200 people. That's crazy to think that they can field a rugby league team.
Yeah.
But also that's good enough to make a grand final. Everyone must know everyone in the town. You mustn't all know the whole. My theory is that, if you're a teacher out there at the school, because my mate went past, he might even have shot of the sign out the front of the school, said, "Go the Roosters." I thought, the whole town must be behind him. But if the teacher leaves and he's like, the new teacher must come in and say, "Look, the last teacher was our left centre. Can you please?" What do you do?
That used to happen a lot back in the old days, especially down the Riverina. I think of Lockhart, the town. It's about 45k west of Wagga.
Yeah.
That's it. They get a new bank manager, and the first thing they do is mate, you play rugby league? Play AFL. Bugger.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah. Can you learn how to, just grub her a ball or something for us? You can come off the bench. But anyway, go Ivanhoe, go Narrandera as well. But I just think it's a lovely little grand final. It's a tiny little comp out there. I love these little comps you don't hear a lot about. But anyway, that's on this weekend. The details are on the screen as well, because I've got details there.
Good stuff.
Just apropos last week when we were talking about the confusion about the Peter McDonald Shield, I don't think anyone's cleared it up for me, other than I think I do understand that for those who weren't listening last week, there's been a bit of an argument about how many grades should be run next year per club. The Group 11 had a meeting, and they said, look, we need all 4 grades, every team, every week. And they know, I think, supposedly know that Group 10 teams will struggle to do that, or could struggle to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the New South Wales Rugby League General Managers had a say, and he said, look, the competition's been a big success, which I think I'd agree with. I think it's been pretty good.
It seems pretty good. I've watched a few highlights and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think the balance, you look at the table and stuff, there's a little bit from each group. There's the big clubs are up the top, but it's not just consumed by Group 11 or consumed by Group 10, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, he's kind of said, look, 4 grades might be possible. We'll decide it later. I don't think he wanted to say a thing about it. He's just sort of I'll tell you, we'll talk about it at the end of the year. So that's probably the end of that for now. But anyway, we'll see. Part of me thinks if that's the worst thing that they've got to complain about, it must be a pretty good comp.
Yeah.
For a new comp where you've merged 2 groups, that seems to be the biggest issue.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's pretty good comp, because it could have gone a lot worse. It could have been clubs that can't field first grade teams, or transport issues, or whatever, that kind of stuff. So this week at Orange, an interesting initiative where the Orange Sims, the Fishies, are going to team up with, I'm going to read this because it's from another code, the Orange City Lions rugby union team, and they're going to run a day of both teams playing their round.
That's really good. That's well done.
I don't think it's ever been done before anywhere, because it's not a hybrid game. They're just 2 different comps. They're just going to play at the same time, and hopefully, I guess, get a bigger crowd there.
I think it was tried back in 1909.
Oh, yeah.
And Balmain ended up forfeiting a grand final because they were the South v Balmain was the curtain raiser for a Wallabies game. Oh. And Balmain said, wow. Yeah, so
there you go.
Let's hope history doesn't repeat itself.
Your memory goes way back. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's impressive. But apart from, there's no internationals in this game, but Sims play Parks, so it's sort of the last game starts at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
But if you want to rock up there at 1 o'clock, the under-18s league is on. Then both grades are union between 2 and 5, and then it finishes with the Sims versus Parks.
I mean, that's great. I mean, I think locally here, Townsend Oval, you've got Merriweather Carlton and South Newcastle. Yeah. And a lot of the people that they follow both teams.
Yeah,
and if one's playing away, say
It's funny this on paper.
Great idea.
On paper, they look so separate, but you're right. Fans would be fans of the both. The players probably know a bunch of players playing union. Everyone probably is intermeshes in the community. They all know each other. Yeah. But then you turn up on a Saturday, it's like, right, you go over there and I go over here because you're union and you're league. So I'm not saying I necessarily think it's going to work everywhere, but for little towns or little clubs or, like, Sims aren't little, but, just to try it out and see what happens.
Yeah, that's it. Well done.
Yep. Port Macquarie Sharks need a bit of a pat on the back. They've raised some money, but not just for the money they've raised, but what they're raising it for. There's a group, an organisation up there called Self-Seen, which is a community-based group focusing on mental health. Okay. What Self-Seen have said, and I think this is what spiked my interest, they want to raise money to train wellbeing officers in every 2 wellbeing officers every club up there.
Yep.
Who are almost like they're basically saying we have first aid officers, we don't have mental health first aid officers, and these people can just float around and be fully trained in knowing, something's not right there, or someone said, Pete hasn't been turned up to training or stuff like that,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Great idea. Yeah. Why not? And anyway, the Port Sharks have raised $7,000 to help fund that. So,
good stuff.
Good idea. And I think something like you think, well, that could be something if it's working, get it out there because mental health it doesn't just stop at the gate to the footy oval, and it doesn't just stop at workplaces. It's it's happening everywhere. If people are struggling, they're struggling everywhere. So it's a great initiative. The Yass Magpies have officially opened their new grandstand, although it's been used since the start
of the year.
Okay, but like a lot of Australians, particularly like to do this. But it was an official opening the other day. It's interesting because we've got pictures on the screen there. Interesting to see that. Grandstand, the whole initiative was about $1 million.
Yep.
I always like to look at these and say that's what $1 million gets you. Not just a grandstand. They've got car park out the back for those who live in that area. They can go and park in it and go, wow, I'm in the new car park. And they've upgraded their lighting to LED, high quality, rugby league standard kind of thing. So I think it's pretty good for $1 million that they've done pretty well. They've got an officials room there. And that big tower on top, I'm assuming, is for the BarTV camera operators to be filming some great, and we've seen it. You can see, I think this weekend.
We had Yass playing against Goulburn.
Would have been coming out of that. Yep. The angles are right. I don't know much about the filming, but it looks schmick.
Yeah.
It looks comfortable.
More height the better when you're filming sport.
More height the better? Yeah. Okay, no, get a cherry picker looking down it. Yeah, sure. Anyway, that's official. I like, on top of that, they've named the Cole Yick York and the Ken Bell kind of sides, left and right siders. They're naming them after some old officials there that probably did all the groundwork to get that whole place set up, You
know what happened to the other side,
the terraced hill bit.
On the other side is where you used to shoot from, and I just from watching games, it's just been demolished. I just thought they might have had a memorial service
they could turn it into street art and public art is cool now. You could just call it something, and it could have been a sculpture. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get down there soon and sit on that freezing cold concrete down there. I think bring your cushion or whatever. But no, it's fantastic. And they can have night games in the middle of the year, which people, the Yass locals will go, this isn't cold, who cares? We can sit up, and everyone else will be there going, it's freezing.
I've got visions of Shark Park back in the early 90s when they were the first ones to really have Saturday night
games. Yeah, it'll be fantastic. And just another shout out, Mitch Williams from Wyong played his 250th game on the weekend. Yeah, so that's fantastic. He's only 33, so he's still got a few more years in him, but he's a stalwart of the Newcastle Denton Engineering Rugby League and played for Wyong basically for whatever they really want him to play for. He's played in the local comp down there. He's played up in the Newcastle comp. Might have even when they were...
New South Wales Cup.
He did play the New South Wales Cup? Yeah, I was going to say, he's just a Wyong roo through and through. He'll play wherever they go. So
second or third year as captain coach there too.
Yeah, so that's another feather in his cap as well. But, I mean, he'd be an easy coach to kind of listen to. He seems like he's respected by everyone in the rugby league community. So good on Mitch. And that's all I got for Around the Groups.
Well done, mate. Around the Groups done and dusted.
Yep.
Yeah, no footy in focus this weekend. No. We'll just have a bye round of that.
We're just going to focusing on staying dry in the shed.
Yeah. Keep your comments come through on the Challenge Cup. We had a few So we might share them all next week with the ideas and have maybe a bit of a part 2 Challenge Cup.
Yeah, I'm interested. And I think, like I've said before, this President's Cup that's coming up at the end of the year seems to be taking the shape of almost what we're talking about. We just need to get in the heads of these decision makers and sort of get them to elaborate and make it a bigger comp.
Almost forgot Steve Mascot, a friend of guys here on the show.
Yeah, friend of the CRL show.
Two Tribes. Haven't read it yet, but I picked that up last week. If you've read Mike Coleman's Super League story, I can't wait to take into this one, seeing what Super League, how long ago now? It's like 20-odd years ago since it all happened, and there's so many names on the back that have taken time out to do interviews with Steve Mascall. But, can't wait to get into that one. If you love your footy, like some good footy journalism, then Steve Mascall's Two Tribes, get into it. As
a credit to Steve, because I don't want to be morbid about this stuff, but a lot of these people who were older at the time, they potentially could die with the stories they have about it. Like I'm glad that he's been able to get around to a lot of people. He spoke to Bobby Fulton, and I think that's what he might have commented when Bobby Fulton passed away, that, it was great to talk. And I thought at the time, when these old fellas pass away, that their stories go with them. And so it's fantastic that we're able to get it in black and white, some of the stuff that's in there, because it sounds like it's pretty compelling.
I just saw the name there, Morris Lindsay too, the Wigan Warriors chairman, who basically just lifted them off the ground and become a powerhouse in the 80s and 90s. So.
People of that era, you forget their role. Like some of them, because we had lawyers mixing with rugby league types and businessmen mixing with lawyers, and it was I remember at the time thinking, I don't know what's going on here, because some of these people were, like, who are you again, and who are you associated with, and News Limited people, and Optus Vision, remember Optus Vision?
Yes.
And all that kind of stuff. They've actually they've included Phil Economides' take on it as well, because he was the former Gold Coast Chargers coach, had a lot to do with Super League from my memory.
Yeah, so that's Two Tribes by Steve Mascall.
I bought it as a Mother's Day present, which is good. So you buy it as a Father's Day present. That's a bit away. Yeah. And then your old man reads it, and he said, "Do you want to read it?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So then you get it.
I got it as a birthday present, but I still had to go and buy it myself.
Yeah, well, that's right. But anyway, no, good, interesting read. I'll be doing the same, sinking my teeth in it on a rainy afternoon.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into this weekend's fixtures. Now I can't even speak properly. Group 7 kicks off round 14. Any of those games you like?
Definitely, based on mixed form for both of them, Jamberoo and Warilla. Because I just can't see where that's going to go. Like Jamberoo in hot form, I think they're playing really well, and Warilla really, I'm say they will feel gutted after last week. So I'll be interested to see how they come out to play. Yeah,
well, Stingrays, they've got another top 3 team. They take on Kiama, so another big test for them. But I like Shell Harbour v Milton Ulladulla. That's an opportunity for Shell Harbour to creep back closer to the 5. Yeah,
that's right. And it's not must win, but like I said, it's a telling time of year to be jagging a win.
NRRL round 13, Evanshead v Maris Brothers. It could be an interesting one. The Lismore-based team hasn't played for a couple of weeks. Yeah,
and a few have the bye there. Coogin and Ballina might be interesting.
Yes, so some good ones there. Canberra round 14. Well, the one that stands out's the Queanbeyan Derby.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said earlier, there's a lot of interest from both ends there. The Blues really want to consolidate. The Kangaroos, I hate using the word must win. I've said it about 17 times this podcast, but it really is. If they can win that, they can think, right, we've got a platform we can move with.
And top of the table, West Belconnen meet Woden Valley, also an important game for that top 4.
Yeah.
Gold Coast round 15. The feature match is Burleigh and Southport. That should be an absolute cracker.
That was the one that my eyes were lighting up when I saw it. I thought that would be a cracker of a game. Another one worthy of looking at is Ormo versus Helensvale, only because I think Ormo it's a must win. Well, I keep saying must win, but really, they need to knock over Helensvale if they've got any hope of reaching the semis. They can't lose to Helensvale.
And Tugun and Mudgery Bar, also an interesting one. Those two will you'd assume that they would meet again in the semis in a month's time.
Yeah, and Tugan need to find a bit of form, I think. They've sort of been a bit patchy.
After the 52-6 win over Ormo.
No, when was that? I was talking about last week.
Fair call.
I forgot about that one.
There's too much footy. How can
I
you
know,
remember it all?
I can't keep up.
Sorry, I threw you under the bus.
No.
It's good. Round 14, Sunshine Coast. Gympie v Nambour. Nambour need to bounce back after last week's loss.
Yeah.
But there it is, the top of the table, Maroochydore v Queanbeyan.
I was going to say just about that, Maroochydore v Queanbeyan. I hope they have a great crowd there. It's there'll be a sense of occasion about it because we're heading pretty close to the end of the year. They started quite early, didn't they? I think their round started early. I'm not sure when their rounds wrap up, but it's going to get important to win those games.
Illawarra round 2. Well, this is the catch-up one from round 2. Some good ones there. Yeah.
Helensburg's sort of my favourite little team at the moment, so I wouldn't mind seeing them. Oh, then they're playing at home again. I don't know whether that's been to their advantage because I think a lot of the wins this year from memory of most recent times for Helensburg have been home games. So I'd be interested to see how they go there.
And I'm going to tip Corrimal to defeat Caringbah.
Oh, wow, okay. That will be an interesting game. I was just looking also at De La Salle and the Collies. That'll be
good ones,
Yeah, an interesting one as well, so it'll be a good round to watch.
And the Western Derby. Wests v Yapto.
Yeah, it's a great round coming up.
Round 2, Illawarra that is, and there's only a couple of catch-up games this week in Newcastle Rugby League. Curry hosts Lakes and Macquarie hosts Souths on Saturday.
Yeah.
There are a couple happening as we're recording this, so we won't give away the scores live.
No, that's right. No, just look out the window. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Macquarie vs South will be...
intercept.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You never see that. Macquarie vs South, it's more, in my mind, the Scorps can't stuff up. This is one of those danger games, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting because I like the look of both teams and the way they play footy, especially the scores. But, both head into... off the back of a loss. So,
and I think, the Scorps will want to get it right. I think Souths are still in with a shot, but, Macquarie need to win these games if they're going to have a hope of getting in the grand final.
Awesome, mate. Well, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we've survived the rain.
Yeah.
We're up to our knees in water here. You guys can't see off shot, but no, it's a cracker of a weekend ahead. Potentially, you could be living somewhere where it is going to be raining and you can just put the heater on, sit in front of the couch and sit on the couch and watch a bit of BarTV.
Yeah, only way to go. Well, that's it. Country Rugby League done and dusted for another week. As you said, get out and watch some local footy or buy this book. You can read that.
Do both.
While it's half time.
Yeah, that's right.
2 tries by Steve Mascourt.
Brilliant.
Paul Arandale, Geoff Stevenson signing out from the Country Rugby League show. We'll catch you next week.
Cheers.